what's up? And I am back with another video. It's your girl Shantae, you know the drill. And this is my Pride Month look. For this look, I use the Alyssa Edwards palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills because, you know, Alyssa Edwards is a part of the LGBTQ plus community, and I wanted to feature a product from somebody that was a part of the community, as well as I'm going to be talking about some prominent Black LGBTQ plus figures in the community that have helped push forward rights for the community and are just overall amazing individuals. So if you want to see me complete this look, if you want to hear me talk, if you want to hear me rant probably about some stuff later on, let's get into it. Okay guys, so I'm going to get into this expressive eyeshadow look, but I'm gonna start off doing my brows and I'm gonna start talking to you guys about some of these influential LGBTQ plus figures while I'm doing my makeup. So I went on the internet and I wanted to search up, you know, some information about prominent Black figures who were very involved in the LGBTQ community, or, you know, made history being who they were, you know, because they're a double whammy. Well, I don't consider it a negative thing to be Black or gay or whatever it is, but, you know, when they were coming up or when they were involved in whatever they were involved in, it was probably 10 times harder, you know, to get their positions that they did get. And it was historical, it was groundbreaking. So the article had 60 influential people, but I picked out 8 of them that I felt like, you know, resonated more with me, or, you know, that I was like, wow, that's super interesting that they, you know, got where they got, or even that, you know, I never knew about those people, and it was so interesting learning about these people. So now I'm going to take my PLouise base. I just got these a couple days ago and I'm so excited to try them. I wanted to get bases that, you know, would make my eyeshadow look pop, since, you know, the theme of this video is a colorful eyeshadow look. So I was pretty excited to get my hands on these bases, and I wanted to see what the hype was about. So okay guys, so I did something. I did my eye using the Alyssa Edwards palette among a couple other palettes to achieve this look, and I'm gonna show you guys how I did this one. So I went through different phases to figure out what I was gonna do with this look. Like, I was confused. I was like, where do I even start? I saw this picture on Instagram and I was like, I wanna do my own type of like rainbow twist to it. The only thing I can say about this is, like, you have to have patience and a steady hand. So after I primed my eyes with the PLouise eye base in the shade 5, or is that 05? I think it's 5, okay? I then go into the Alyssa Edwards palette and I take the color Brick Road and I place that first. So the first person I'm going to be talking about is Miss Gladys Bentley. And Miss Bentley was a gender-bending actress during the Harlem Renaissance, and I just thought that was super cool because it seemed like in the 1920s, you know, when there was a discoverance of Black creatives, Black artists, Black poetry, Black music, you know, in that section of New York, I think people were also had a place to be comfortable. They had a place that they could, you know, express themselves, be themselves. And I think certain of the clubs and places in Harlem allowed people to do that, you know. And these voices, these people, you don't really hear about them, but it was so interesting to learn about the different people in this article. So you guys might recognize this bad boy. This was the palette I used in my last Pride Month video. Can't believe it's already been a year. And I'm just going into nature, this green right here. And that's gonna be the first color that I place right under that yellow. So another interesting person that was also among the list was Mr. Bayard Rustin. And Mr. Rustin was actually one very key advisor to MLK during his time. He was like a pretty well-known activist during the time that he advised Martin Luther King Jr. He also got, and I thought this was pretty sad, he also received his it was like a Medal of Honor, Presidential Medal of Freedom after his death, which, you know, I don't think they would have been able to got those medals and those accolades in the time that they were fighting for justice and freedom for not only just LGBTQ plus members, but Black people in general. They were fighting for all those rights, and a lot of people, you know, weren't really comfortable or weren't really accepting of those views. So it was hard for any of these figures to get recognition, and it's probably why you haven't heard about most of them. Well, let me not say the general public, because there's probably a lot of people that do know about these people, these amazing people, but you know, not everybody gets the luxury of learning about these aspects of history, of Black history. So I'm just taking Dreamin' from the Alyssa Edwards palette, and I just went on the outskirts of the green color. So this was a popular trick I saw on like Instagram and stuff of people cleaning their cut crease with Vaseline, and I have to say, it works. It's pretty dope. It's pretty groundbreaking. I mean, it changes the game for your cut crease. It, like, you know, for me with hooded eyes, it makes me see where I want to cut my crease as well, and it just overall looks better. Okay, so the next prominent person on my list that I'm gonna talk about is Miss Barbara Jordan. And Miss Jordan is important because she is the first, not only just the first Black woman, but the first member of the LGBTQ plus community to be elected to the Texas Senate. Now that's a pretty big achievement right there. You know, not only to be a woman and not only to be Black, but also to be gay is just, wow. You can just imagine like the stuff that she had to persevere, the hardships that she had to go through, you know, to get to the position that she got to. And it's kind of admirable. She was also the first woman and African American elected to Congress from Texas in 1972. And I mean, that's not that long ago, you know, but it's still groundbreaking to know that she, you know, broke that barrier for other young women of color who may have or may have not been gay to get into those positions in politics. So as y'all can see, the crease area is already technically carved out. And what I do, because I realized this area is greasy and the base, I mean the PLouise base wasn't going on as great as I wanted it to. So I just wiped off the excess grease off my eyes before I did anything else. Okay, next I'm gonna be taking Rumor Zero and the PLouise base, and I'm gonna be carving out my crease with that color. Amongst this list of people was so much firsts, and I think it's great, but it's also bittersweet, you know? And one of the other firsts was Mr. Ron Oden, and he was the first gay man, openly gay man, to be elected mayor in Palm Springs, California. So like I was saying about Mr. Ron Oden, he was the first openly gay Black man to not only be mayor in California, but to be the mayor of a major city in the United States. So he made history in several different ways. So right now I'm just taking Texas Made from the Alyssa Edwards palette, and that's the first color that's going down on my lid to form this, you know, colorful thing that's going on over there. The second color I used was from the Juvia'splace palette, the Zulu palette, and it's this orange right here. And I mean, it's not only shocking, it's not really shocking that there were so many firsts. I kind of guess it's just shocking that I'm just learning about it, you know. To be the first openly gay man to run for mayor in your city, it's like a pretty big thing. You know, he probably had a lot of judgment, a lot of eyes on him, regardless of if California was a pretty liberal state. I mean, it's always been, but like, it's hard to be gay in a society, you know, that favors, you know, heterosexual couples and heterosexual ideas, you know, and to be successful in such a big platform, you know. And hats off to him for, you know, paving the way for other young men who want to be in politics that are just like him, you know. Someone can go out and say, hey, Ron Oden did it, so I can. I think that's pretty dope. So the next color I'm placing on my lid is from the Alyssa Edwards palette again, and it's Brick Road, and that's going right beside the orange color. And next after the yellow is the green again from the Morphe palette, and it's called Nature. And the last color is this Dream It again from this Alyssa Edwards palette, and it's gonna be the last color to go on the outer V. Now after I've placed the shadows down, I'm gonna wipe off the outside of my eye. And what I did right here was I used white liner and some glitter dust to, you know, give my eye like a pop of fun or whatever. So first I applied the glitter and I used my dual lash glue, and I just went over that little white space that I left with the lash glue. And I just took like an angled liner brush, and I just applied the glitter to where I put the glue. The white eyeliner I used was from NYX. Just a plain old regular white eyeliner. Okay guys, so I have finished most of the eye look. I paused reading my important facts because I was getting too distracted in putting on my eyeliner and my glitter. It's just a lot to do something like this while reading. So I'm gonna go and put on my lashes, and then I'll be back, and I think I'm gonna be even more focused to read to you guys. Okay. So I actually put on some eyeliner as well. So that's the eye look done, and I'm just gonna get my face cleaned up, and we're gonna move into the face. Okay, so now I'm gonna be getting into the face, and I'm gonna prime with my usual stuff, my Milk Hydrogrip primer. So now that primer's on, I'm just taking my NARS Natural Radiant Foundation and putting that all over my face. So the next person I had on my list was a young woman called Marsha P. Johnson, and Miss Johnson was a transgender woman that was known for her influence during the Stonewall riots. Like, she was a very influential figure, and I saw a lot of her pictures and stuff on Facebook and Twitter, and I think she has a documentary out as well. And I just thought she was a very interesting person to read about. Like, her life isn't Like, a lot of people don't get their roses while they're still alive. Like, she did so much for the LGBTQ community and for just Black people in general to just have rights, not only just as, you know, Black people, but, you know, the added sexual orientation in as well. The next person was someone that I thought was really particularly very interesting. His name is Willie Ninja, and I don't know if that's his stage name or his real name, but this man is known for what we know now as voguing, right? He made the dance style popular back in the day. He was at clubs, he was out, you know, at parties doing these styles. Like, a lot of people know Vogue as, like, you know, expressive movements, like, and it's just a dance. It's like, I see Vogue videos now and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to move my body like that. So yeah, his style was also popularized by a documentary called Paris is Burning. And as we know, I think more people know about this than they do him, which is sad, that Madonna, you know, used it in her video, Voguing. And that's how it got, like, pretty popular back then too. And now I'm gonna be using my new favorite highlighting concealer from e.l.f., the 16-hour camo concealer. I love this stuff. I'm gonna be using this all the time now to highlight. The next person I'm about to talk about, I know you've seen her memes all over social media, Miss Lori Lightfoot, and she's the current mayor of Chicago, and she is a gay woman, and she won the election for Chicago mayor in 2019, and she was the first Black gay woman to do so. And I just wanted to talk about Miss Lightfoot because her memes are hilarious, and she's a no-nonsense type of woman, and I think she deserved to be mentioned, even though most people know about her just by her memes, and people are like, who is this lady? And they don't know the stuff and all of the important things that she's doing for the city of Chicago, and how groundbreaking her presence and her just being who she is and having that position, how great it is in general. The last individual that I have on my list, I just talked about 8 people because the full list is 16, and the last person, his name is Mr. Phil Wilson, and Mr. Wilson is an activist for the HIV/AIDS disease, and what made him pursue this line of activism is that his partner died from the disease, and he's also infected as well. So he actually is the head of the Black AIDS Institution. He also was a part of the Obama administration advisory committee on HIV/AIDS and was just a prominent figure during his time in office, just speaking on the issue and bringing light to it, and just, it was just an overall empowering thing to read about his journey and, you know, the steps he took to, you know, make awareness for the disease. I think that was very important to him, having it and also having lost a loved one from the disease. You already know the drill. When this concealer is dried down, we blend that out. Yes. I think it's such a beautiful thing to be able to express yourself, and express yourself in not only just regular things that everybody accepts, but in who you love. I mean, it's not easy, first of all, being Black in this country, then alone to be gay or transgender or bisexual or whatever orientation it is on the spectrum. It's like, to me, it's like almost courageous, and I don't think people really understand that people like this don't ask for the added drama. They'd rather to live their lives, you know, stress-free, anxiety-free, depression-free, and all of these things can come with being gay or black or whatever it is, and the strength and the courage that these people must have had, you know, to be able to push to live their lives. It's just sometimes you get emotional thinking about it. Me being a heterosexual person, it's important that for me, I support the community, because like, it's not easy to come out and express yourself and just be yourself, you know, and for them to have that support from people outside of the community is essential. I think it is. So now guys, I'm going to powder my face with my regular e.l.f. powders, and I'm gonna be right back. Now I'm just contouring my face with my favorite bronzer from Fenty Beauty in Coco Naughty. Now I got this new setting spray in my BoxyCharm box, and it's from, I think it's In Beauty. I thought that was a W, but it's not. And it's a Power Up Dual Phase Setting Spray. It's supposed to set your makeup, but it filters away dull, tired, and stressed out complexion. That's what I got, so I'm be using this right on up. So for my lip look, I just used a regular brown lip liner, and then I was going to take a Fenty Beauty Mademoiselle color in purple. Forgot the exact shade name, and then I just filled that in my lips. After I used the Fenty Beauty matte color, I added a dose of colors Nude Lip in the middle. Okay, so here guys is the finished look, and oh, almost finished. I have to add some bottom mascara. So guys, I just want to end this video saying it was pretty hard to find the motivation to record in this time, and with all the recent riots and deaths, I just want to say that as a black woman, it's hard, you know, to be happy and be strong, but we have to be. And you know, they always say as women, as black women, we sometimes get the shitty end of the stick when it comes on to fighting for rights. You know, we don't always get that boost and that backup from our black men, but what I've seen in these past couple of weeks is everyone that's coming together and pushing towards this initiative, and just the Black Lives Matter movement hasn't ended. You know, you may not see the hashtags and the riots as much on social media, but they're still happening. Like Breonna Taylor's killers are still not prosecuted. Like, we still need to keep fighting. There's so many cases, Kinika Jenkins, there's so many names and faces and cases that have not been solved, that need justice, that we need to push and need to keep talking about. Thank you for watching, and subscribe, like, and share, but most importantly, Black Lives Matter. And I just wanted to make it clear that on my channel I support all members of the LGBTQ+ community. This is a safe space. This is a safe channel for anyone that is different, that is unique in any way. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Peace.